To create our honeycombs, first we are going to make a print. We can make a print using some black paint, bubble wrap, and a piece of paper. Now when you have this bubble wrap, it is extremely important that you do not pop it. If you pop this bubble wrap, we won't be able to use it. So I know it's hard to resist, but do not pop it. What we're gonna start with doing is taking our brushes, or maybe you have a brayer to roll paint on, and you are going to paint on top of the bubble wrap. And you can see as I am running my paintbrush over that bubble wrap that it's only painting on the bubbles. So this is a good thing. This is what's going to create that honeycomb print. You don't want to press too hard because you don't want to get any paint in the cracks of your bubbles. And you also don't want to press so hard that you're popping those bubbles. So I'm going pretty quickly here because I want to make sure that my paint doesn't dry before I can print it on my paper. Okay, so that is looking good. I've painted all my bubbles. Now, time to take this and print it on my yellow paper. So I'm taking my bubble wrap, flipping it upside down and lining it up in the corner. And then I'm just really, really lightly running my hands over that bubble wrap. Remember, you don't want to press too hard because that could pop it. And I lift it up and you can see that made such a beautiful print. So now I can go back and do that again. The reason that I'm using black is because if I use a bunch of colors, like, rainbow colors or anything, as I painted over it again, those colors might get blended up. But in theory, if you wanted to, you could do this print using any colors. So I am just going to go ahead and do another layer, and then you can fill up the entire paper with your bubble wrap print. And we'll be cutting this out next week in hexagons to make them look like honeycombs. That looks so awesome. Now, when we're drawing a honeybee, there is no right or wrong way to draw a bee. Maybe you want to do a bee that's more realistic. Maybe you want to do one that looks more cartoony. There's all sorts of styles you can do. So you can draw your bee however you want to, but I will show you a couple of techniques on how you might want to try drawing a bee. Next is time for cutting and gluing. First, we are going to trace 3 hexagons onto our honeycomb paper that we made. So you can take a pencil or a Sharpie and just go around a tracer. The hexagons are the shape of a honeycomb. Do you know, without looking, how many sides a hexagon has? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 sides. So go ahead and trace 6 hexagons on there. Your tracing does not have to be perfect. And then I'm going to fit one more hexagon on. And then we are going to cut these out. And now it's time to cut out our bees and put them onto your honeycombs. I would like you to do at least 3 bees. I did several since I showed you guys some examples, so I'm just gonna cut out some bees. When you cut your bees out, what I'm gonna do is do something called bubble cutting. And what that means is I am just going to cut kind of a bubble around my bee. I'm not gonna cut right on the lines, and that's because these bees just have so many little details that it can be hard to cut out all those fine lines and details. So instead of that, we're doing a bubble cut, and it's okay to have the white paper showing. And I'll show you exactly what this looks like when we're done. And I'm just gonna bubble cut like this on all of my little bees. And then when you glue them on, you'll still see the white paper, but that helps them stand out. So I'll put this on fast mode while I finish this up.